You a teacher? This nigga's the fucking Renaissance man. What is this?
I boxed the Brampton Boxing Club, same club that Lennox Lewis boxed at.
You got
And I
clips
did
of you
that.
boxing? I need to see this shit. I want to see you knock somebody the fuck out, Teach.
No, that was in the late '90s. So if there are clips, it's pretty haggard, you know.
Did you ever? I appreciate your rude knock, my boy. Appreciate you. We already got your ass, Teach. Rude knock, Teach, where get your ass. Teach don't
Yeah,
play.
well,
He don't
rude
play
knock,
for.
because of course it was rude knock, a little snitchy.
Hey, bro, this shit just started, bro. This shit just started on its own, bro. I had my phone plugged in. I was just sitting here chilling. I heard, man, that's just crazy.
Welcome back, my boy. Shit.
Hey, welcome back.
Shit.
Hey, it's good.
Hey,
It's good to see y'all again.
That was almost a pause, Mary, but it's you, so I ain't gonna say nothing. More than 6 foot is crazy.
What is she talking about? Oh, how tall I am?
How bald you are on a scale of 1 to 5. She said you was 6.
I am 6'3", but
Hey, T, you ever knocked anybody out when you was boxing?
yeah, a few. In smokers.
A few.
Hey,
You
I
said
feel
you was
like
getting smokers?
Teach got that. I feel like Teach got that Irish fighting stance.
The Irish,
Yeah.
the put 'em up
I'm
shit,
brother.
but the
I'm
Notre
the
Dame
guy.
shit.
I'm the first guy that I'm not afraid to get hit. That kind of guy. You know what I mean? So like,
Oh, so you can
you
take
can
a
hit
punch.
me.
You got a punchable face, huh?
Yeah.
They
And
used to call you to get knocked out. You ever had to take a dive?
I didn't have to take a dive, but they set me up for it, like to lose. Sure.
How they set you up?
Well, I fought a dude that had like so much experience, and I had like 7 fights.
Ah, so he whooped your ass. They lined you up. Basically,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
lined you up. They lined
And he knocked me out. He actually knocked me out.
Shit! How many times you been knocked out professionally? Desi, what's up?
Professionally, I was
Yeah.
never a professional.
You ain't never get paid to fight?
Well, smokers, but that's not professional.
Man, if you get paid to do something, you a professional.
I
The fuck,
get like
what is this?
$50 for a fight. I only did
that ain't
like
shit. That don't make
Yeah.
you for hell nah. That's a street.
No,
You can make more money fighting in the street, Teach. You can
but that
whoop a
was in
nigga's
the
ass for
90s.
$100.
That was the 90s. Don't forget.
So $50 was a lot of money in the 90s.
Well, it was
Hey, that
more
shit's
than
probably
what
like
you're thinking now.
$200 nowadays. Like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
probably.
Man, hell no. I
was
had
still in
$50
school.
in the 90s, nigga, and I was a preteen.
I was
You know how
still
many
in school.
Hey, you know how many tanks of gas? How many cars you could fill the tanks
Hey,
of gas up with
facts.
$50 in the 90s?
Back then, when gas used to be like 89 cents, nigga, what is this?
That's what I'm saying. Like that $50 equates to like 200 now.
Maybe you might. I don't know why when people say shit like it, I think of like buying bread at the store. That's always the analogy for me. Like bread instantly comes to my mind. I don't know why.
But you
Like,
gotta
bread would be a
gotta
nickel
remember.
back then it's a $3 now.
But you got to remember, I was in school, so I was in college, and then I did that on the weekends.
She's old enough to used to be able to get a pack of cigarettes for a nickel.
Did you already know the number one rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club, bro.
Right. He was in an underground fight club fighting for $50. $50 a brawl.
It was on Lakeshore. If you know anything about Toronto, if anyone knows anything about Toronto, they used to have fights down on the docks, and they'd call it, I believe they called it fights on the docks. And it was on.
That's original.
Dykes on the docks. That's crazy.
But my point was, like Toronto's a huge metropolis, right? So there's different boroughs. So I lived in Brampton. I went to Brampton Boxing Club. So
That
you
sound
would
like
go to
some
these
gang
fights.
shit. Brampton
So
sounds like a blood set out there.
Hey, according to Drake, the girls from Brampton are easy action.
yeah, well,
Shit.
that's where I got my like that's when I first met the Asian girls. They all lived in Brampton. All
Turned him out.
yeah.
He said, yeah.
So anyways, so you would go to the smokers, the fights on the docks, and then every club would have their own fighters, and they'd throw you in there, right? That's all it was. It was 3 rounders, you know. And I got
If
knocked
we
out
fight on the dog,
my
that's the
my
dog
last
fight.
my last
Yo.
fight. I got knocked out, and that was my last one. And I quit. I was like, fuck
Damn,
this
you
shit.
left off a lost teach? Fuck that. You supposed to
Yeah,
leave off legend. You supposed to knock a nigga off the dock and then quit. Like, fuck this. As soon as he hit the water,
Nah.
splash. Just grab your jacket and start walking up the dock. Fuck this.
no, I got knocked out and probably lost some knowledge, and I had like a massive black eye for a couple weeks.
Then you
It was
start
nasty.
teaching. Whooped his ass and he started teaching. Said, well, I'm gonna go and sit down now. Start talking to these kids. Talk
Hey,
some sense to these kids.
he started teaching originally to regain that knowledge he lost.
He started reading, trying to get his functions back. He had to learn how to walk. You know what? I think I can teach some people now. I'm pretty smart.
Well, that's all a teacher does is repeat knowledge, right? So I don't
Facts.
really have to do too much.
Facts.
Oh, so you full of shit. Basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah, of course. I never said I wasn't full of shit.
See, I
I
know
I
the
just
school
repeat
system was some
stuff.
bullshit.
Hey, look, if you
Never
think
chop it up
about
with
it
my
though,
teachers like this.
but
Yeah,
I
none of your
ain't finna
teachers
take.
were cool
I
or smart if you think about it. None of your
I'm
teachers were
finna
cool or
take away
smart.
from what Teach does. But if you think about school, your teacher had all the books with all the packets, so they just read through the packet and make sure that you were following along. Really,
Right.
Exactly.
These
So
motherfuckers
so
had predetermined. How y'all turn in a curriculum? What is that?
so
You
now
niggas
now
already
that
know
I'm
what we gonna do for the rest of the school year every day. How?
right. So but for now, so now I design my own courses, right? So in the summer you have 2 months off. In that 2 months, I have to design the course for the next year. So I don't really have 2 months off. I have to do, but I know all the answers. So then coming when the year comes, it's super easy for me to mark all the papers and
facts,
all that
Con.
stuff because I know all the
Hey, let
answers.
me ask you a question. So yeah, I think every kid wanted to know this as a kid growing up. Is there a book with all the answers in it?
Well, depending on where you teach, because when I first started teaching, I taught high school, and that was at Taipei Huping Senior High School, and yeah, I had the answer book.
I knew it. I knew for some reason if I could get in that bottom drawer of that fucking desk,
The
there was
one with
gonna
the
be
lock
gold
on
in
it.
there. Yes, there was gonna be fucking gold in that bitch. And it's that there it was, the answer book. I knew I wasn't tweaking. I fucking knew I wasn't tweaking. And
There's
I used to
always an
see
answer
like
book.
Kong talking about I stole them for some. I used to see niggas walking around. Hey man, I got the answer to. I'm like, nigga, how did you get that? How did you get that?
Probably a teacher like me. I would have given it to someone,
You know
Man,
what
traded it
though?
for some
never
weed
mind.
or something.
That's
Hey,
what I'm
look
saying.
now
I'd have
though. Now though, they have a website that you could go to and type up any school like question for any
Yeah,
test, and
yeah.
it'll give you the answer online.
So
but
see,
these
so
kids got it easy.
I have to really pay attention to that when people write papers. So I have to make sure they're not plagiarizing other people's work. So they actually have a program here at my
I was
school
about to say
that
there's an app, ain't it, that the teachers use
yeah,
because it's an answer
yeah,
book to everything. It's an
yeah.
app they can run your shit through to see if you got her cheat.
Yep,
So they have a program at
quizbet.com.
my
There's one,
school.
Dirty.
They have a program at my school that all the papers that I mark, run it through it first, and then it will pop up if they're plagiarizing another person.
So, Teach, how does that work now? Because I heard that people can give a summary into these AI programs. and they'll write a whole paper based on the summary.
Yeah, so they could probably do that if the AI is smart enough. And so, like, for example, like I said, all my students, all the major papers that they hand in to me, I've run through this program. If it doesn't pop up any red flags, then I gotta read it and mark it. If it pops up
Read it
red,
all the way through.
if it pops up red flags, then I just fail them automatically.
Hey, what percentage of your class red flags on a consistent?
Uh, I don't get that many because Asian
That's
students are
fire.
usually
He's in
pretty,
China,
pretty,
nigga. They be really doing their work over there.
yeah.
If he was over here,
Asian
that
students are
motherfucker be
quite
going off
diligent.
every fucking day. Niggas is cheap.
Yeah. Asian students are quite diligent, but I do have some foreign students that come in here. I've had a couple French guys, and they used to do that a lot, and I failed them.
Hey, look,
And
if y'all ever wondered,
and they lost their scholarship.
damn. Hey, look, if you guys ever wanted to know if that stereotype with Asians was true, it was just confirmed tonight on Too Loud Radio.
Facts. They really be doing their work. So if you can
Niggas
cheat,
is smart as hell, bruh.
cheat with one of them motherfuckers. They know what they doing. Hey, look. Shout out to my Asian partners that got me through high school. Y'all know who y'all are. Good looking. They thought I was going to the NBA, boy. Hey, Meech.
Hey, because you mentioned that Asians love basketball, and then
That's crazy.
that's why you were over here, right? Because
Mhm.
that they were paying for the A&1 guys to come over and put on a show.
I think even today they still like the number one buyers of NBA jerseys.
Yeah, well, if you look, Dwight Howard, he just signed here in Taiwan. I've watched a couple of his games, but here in Taiwan, they have a really competitive professional league. And most of the players that can't make it in the NBA anymore, they'll come to Taiwan and they get paid big money.
Big
Hey, look,
money.
hey,
Well,
they love basketball and they love rap music like a motherfucker, bro. I'm like, I really want to break through over there. Like, hey, real talk.
the problem,
I don't think
the
this is
problem,
appropriate.
the problem though is they like rap music that isn't very good.
They're like Soldier Boys.
You know what I mean? And they will. So like my wife, she'll watch these TV shows, and it's like kind of like The Voice or something like that, but it's all about rap, and I listen to it, and it's just horrible. Like the Chinese rap, like you can't, even if the beat is
Chinese
good, you
rap
can't
is
listen to
crazy.
it.
Oh, you just reminded me, Thirder. Trippy Red just dropped an album. I told myself I was gonna listen to it this week.
Oh my god. Black who? Oh, you mean who? Never even heard of it. Shout out to Google.
Hey, look, man. Teach, man. You gotta. I gotta send you some of these business cards, man, so you can hand them out around campus, bruh. So, yeah, because a lot of these indie artists, most of their money comes from overseas, bruh. If they're not huge, like in America, there's a lot of indie artists that don't have a good traction here in America, but like hella money comes from overseas, man.
Yeah, I'll hand them out to. I'll even go down to like Ximending, which is like what's that in New York? The most popular area in New York.
Times Square.
Yeah. Ximending is like Times Square.
Yeah.
So I can go down. I can go down there and hand it out to everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be fire. You sure? That'd be fire, Teach, for real, for real. Y'all let you know, Dirter, how that album is. I'll let you know how it is. I was just curious because he got a lot of names on there and shit. I don't really listen to Trippy Red, but I was kind of I was kind of curious about like what his project was gonna sound like.
But yeah, I saw the only time I ever saw Wu-Tang was here in Taiwan. I saw them at a club, and there was like maybe 200 people there. That's it.
What?
Damn.
But they must
I
have
have
got
more
paid.
people. Never mind.
You know what I mean? They must have got paid in order to come. Is my point.
Hell
Facts.
yeah. There's a hefty
Yeah, you
bag for
good.
Wu-Tang to come through. It's like 30 of them niggas.
Yeah, but
I
it
still
wasn't
don't know
all
how many
Wu-Tang. It was
niggas is in Wu-Tang.
it wasn't all Wu-Tang. It was only Ghostface Killer and the one younger DJ guy. I forget his name.
Only two niggas showed up.
No, I think it was like 3 or 4, but I forget. It wasn't. Ghostface Killer was the only one I even knew.
Hey, if you ask me though, Ghostface, Raekwon, Method Man are like the nicest out them niggas though.
Yeah.
Man, I don't even know who's all in Wu-Tang to fucking even say that.
Yeah, well, there's like 32 of them. So, and then now they got like Wu-Tang Junior or whatever. They got all these.
What the fuck is that?
They got younger guys coming in, so I don't even know who they are.
Y'all
But
can't hear
here
that,
in
can
Asia, they love Wu-Tang because it's
Nah,
Wu-Tang.
shit, Inspector Deck, the RZA, the Jizza, you got.
Yeah. Inspector Deck, I like Inspector Deck.
You named like 2 out of 90 niggas, man.
I named the main group. The main group.
Yeah. What about the Gravediggers?
Gravediggers were fire too.
Who? Great
The
niggas.
Well, that was
Gravediggers. That was
Wu-Tang,
RZA. That was like a side group of RZAs.
Yeah, it was RZA and Method Man and that's all I know.
You got the Killer Bees, the Killer Army. Like
Yeah.
there's so many. Them niggas are like 1,000 niggas deep in New York, bruh.
Bobby Digital.
That's what I'm saying.
You
It's
could
too
literally
many
throw
niggas.
a
I don't know
rocket.
who the fuck y'all talking about.
You could literally throw a rock at any random nigga in New York, and you're guaranteed to hit somebody related to one of the members of the Wu-Tang, bro. That's a true.
Why would you be
That's a true
throwing
fact.
rocks at people in fucking New York?
Because you got to do that sometimes.
No, you don't, unless you want to die.
The Wu-Tang is actually from Staten Island, which is kind of unique in itself.
Ain't that in New York?
Yeah, Staten Island.
You
It's
sound
one
like
of the
one
boroughs.
of them niggas in New York.
Yeah,
I'm not
because
from
that's-
New York, son. I'm from Brooklyn.